everyone, welcome to StudioJake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Be sure to like this video and share it out all over the place because I have a very special guest. She is the star of this year's My Best Worst Adventure, Lily Patra. Lily, welcome to StudioJake. I hope, did I pronounce your name correctly? I realized I should have. Okay, good.
Thank you for having me. I'm so nervous.
No, don't be nervous. I love interviewing people and asking them about their projects. And whenever I was able to watch My Best Worst Adventure, I just want to say I loved it. I thought you were great in it. I thought the story was very charming. It had this very encouraging message that I like, and especially with the times we're in now, I feel like that's very welcome. And I was just curious, as you approach this role, this is your first feature film, I believe, correct?
Yes, yes.
So what was that like, this being your first time being in a full-length feature film?
It was so crazy. Like how it all happened was, yeah, like I was so thrilled that I actually got the part, and like the whole experience was just so amazing. I loved it.
And your character's name, Jenny. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers away because I want people to see this movie, but just so people realize, it's My Best Worst Adventure is about a girl named Jenny who gets sent to Thailand to visit relatives, and she doesn't really want to go. She's hesitant to go, but then when she gets there, she ends up having an adventure where she meets a boy who's about her age, and he's having trouble at home, and so the two of them just kind of bond over their mutual circumstances. And it's, like I said, it's just a very charming, affirming film. And I was curious because the movie takes place in Thailand. Was most of the filming done in Thailand?
Yeah, so the filming was all done in Thailand.
Oh, all done in Thailand. That's awesome.
Yeah, in Chonburi. Oh no, sorry. Some parts were filmed in Bangkok, but in Chonburi was where the majority, where Jenny went to stay with her relatives. Yeah.
And what was that like? Had you been to Thailand before? And forgive my ignorance. I'm not sure. Have you had you been to Thailand before?
Yeah. So I was actually born in Thailand.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and my family, we moved over in 2006 when I was like 7 years old. So by the time I went back, I had already spent the majority of my life in Australia. So it was really good to go back. I got sent back to boarding school because I was kind of forgetting my heritage, and so like it was really good to go back and see more of Thailand and kind of get to know my roots again. Yeah.
That's really neat. And one of the things about Jenny in the film is she doesn't speak a lot. And so a lot of the acting is done through your facial expressions and your body movements and your body language. And I really liked that aspect of the movie. I really think that it really helped to flesh out your character a little bit more. And tell me about that experience, because if one thing we know from movies is people talk, the whole however long it is, 90 minutes or whatever, but you were able to translate the story just through like I said, body language. What was that like as far as acting?
Yeah, so it was really cool and different. Like obviously I've never acted before until this movie, but like it was, as you've said, like it's so unlike the general movies, and yeah, like I found it to be really cool. I guess I'm a really reserved person. I'm pretty shy, so I could relate to Jenny, where she like doesn't say a lot. I don't usually. Like yeah, I guess it was really cool and different, and I had Joel and the crew to like help guide me through like everything, so it made it very easy for me.
And what was it like working with Joel Sosan? I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I've seen a couple of his other features, and I'm just curious, what was it like working with him on My Best Worst Adventure?
It was really fun. He's really great and really cool. Um like he he knows exactly like what his vision is, and that helped me. Like he always had very helpful suggestions, and some parts like I'll feel like stuck on, like where like the emotional side, like sometimes I'd feel like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do. So he would always have helpful tips. Being so experienced, like he would just, yeah.
That's really cool, and I've talked with directors before and in the past about their different techniques, and I'm curious when it comes to sort of his directing style, because I know like for instance. Clint Eastwood, he's very notorious for he just wants everything done in one take. He doesn't like to retake things. Christopher Nolan's very hands-on, and I'm a little curious where he kind of lands on that scale. Is he very hands-on? Does it give you a lot of time to rehearse? I'm not. I'm trying to think of the right way. What is his creative process while he's directing the film?
So he was very understanding. Like if anybody couldn't get it straight away, he was very understanding and helpful. He is, there were some parts where he was very like, it's like this, do it like this, and it like he was. I guess maybe because it was my first time filming, he was always very understanding, and it helped me a lot. Made me feel super like, okay, it's okay. Like, yeah.
What was one of your favorite scenes to film?
My favorite scenes. So one of my favorite was, how do I say without spoiling too much? Okay, I guess there was a scene where Jenny, she was like finding out more about her mom and her stepdad from her grandmother, and you know, it was I really loved filming that scene because it was such like a pivotal moment for Jenny where she becomes like, this little kid into a young lady. She's more not so much like uh just like concerned about herself. She understands um like the bigger picture, I guess, like everything, and understands more about her stepdad. And yeah.
And without sounding too presumptuous, like you said, this is your first movie, and I really think it really gave you an opportunity to show off your talent, because I really think you're talented. In my review, I really praise your performance on my website, and I think that it's one of the things I love about indie films is there's this big complaint in Hollywood. I live in LA, so I hear it all the time, is that movies become commercial after a while. They start to feel like products instead of cinema. And one of the things I love about My Best Worst Adventure is, as an indie film, it didn't feel like a commercial product. It felt like a director's vision, and it felt very sincere. And I'm just curious, like your thoughts on that, because what were y'all hoping the audience would take away from this movie?
I think yeah, like to just like really enjoy this story, and that's a really good question. Yeah, like I think to enjoy the story, because it's like there are parts of the story where it's very authentic to, like a lot of things that you can relate to. Um and yeah, I that's a really good question. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I want to change gears a little bit because I like to know more about you. Like you said, you were born in Thailand. Your family moved to Australia. But when did you get the acting bug? When did have you been performing all through school, or is this a recent life event where like I want to be a movie star? I'm curious where that got started.
Yeah, so I've always loved movies. Like my whole family, we were such movie buffs since I was little. So I always enjoyed watching movies with my family. And I guess I've always like um I've always loved it, and I would always admire actresses and actors in films that I really like. And I guess I didn't think too much about like, oh, that's something that I could possibly do, because it was just so like such a big dream. Um, but yeah, like I went back to school in boarding school in Thailand, and one day they just said that like, oh, there's going to be a casting crew here looking for actors and actresses. And yeah, I one of my teachers said you should go try audition. And so I did. And just for like, I didn't think anything of it. Like I just went in, did my best, and yeah, it was fun. Like I would have like, if I never got the chance to play Jenny, it would have been such a cool experience for me anyway to have auditioned for a movie at that point. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. And uh, you said your family are movie buffs. What are some of your favorite movies?
So I love psychological thrillers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my favorite would have to be Black Swan.
Oh,
I've
okay. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but yeah, I have. Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the amount of times I've seen that movie. It's become like such a comfort movie for me. I love Natalie Portman. She's amazing. Um, and I remember my parents would always put on As Good as It Gets, when,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when we were younger, and I never got it until like now that I'm older and I can understand more about emotions and everything. It's such a feel good movie, and the dialogues are just so clever and funny. And yeah, I loved that movie as well. Um, yeah, there's so many movies.
Well, I always say my two favorite movies that I'm always tied for is Fearless with Jet Li. It's about the founder of Wing Chun Kung Fu. So, and then the other one, of course, is The Dark Knight with Christian Bale as Batman and Heath Ledger, the late great Heath Ledger as Joker. Those are my two favorite films. I always tell people I'm genuinely tied. I don't know which one I like better, but definitely those two films for sure. And when who are some because I'm always curious because I get incredibly diverse answers whenever I ask this question. But who are some of your if you could name just like one or two, who are some influences of actresses or actors that you're like, oh, I really like, I would like to uh, emulate them in their films. Like who inspires you?
So I like Natalie Portman.
Oh
She
yeah,
is
she's a
like
great actress.
everything to me. And uh, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
love the
she's
Queen's Gambit.
yes, I loved The Queen's Gambit. She's so good. Yeah, like and I loved her in Split as well.
Yeah, fantastic film. I
Yeah.
also liked her in Glass, even though her role was a little bit smaller in Glass. I thought she did a good job. I always get into these debates with people because I like Glass and Split in Night Shyamalan's work. I'm like, oh, I was like, I love these films. I know he went through some movies that weren't as well received, but I love those two films.
Mhm.
I think they're fantastic. And uh, what is if you could work with someone in the future with an actor or actress, who would you like to perform with?
Hmm. I Can I choose a director?
Absolutely, choose a director.
I love like Wes Anderson's aesthetic
Oh yeah.
in all his movies. I just love how he films and all like the just kind of like the scenes are so like I don't know, just like so aesthetically pleasing, I guess. So yeah, I would love to work with him.
Wow, that's really cool. And this is the big one. So I'm there. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of franchises going on in Hollywood. You've got Star Wars, you've got Marvel, DC. There's Transformers is getting rebooted, Terminator. And I'm curious if you could pick. And it doesn't have to be any of those. I'm just using those for example. If you could pick a franchise you would like to join as an actress, what would one of them be?
Hmm. Um, is Can I say Marvel?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really like um I've been getting more into the Marvel films. So yeah, I would say Marvel.
Big Marvel fan here, so you won't get any you won't get any disapproving grunts here. Now, for I'm curious, do you have any other projects lined up, or is My Best Worst Adventure, and then you're going to take a little bit of a break, or do you have something like lined up right away?
So I'm kind of in a break right now. It's I've tried I guess around Perth it's more difficult. And now because of COVID has made it harder for actors and actresses, I guess. But um yeah, I guess I'm taking a break from acting.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Once you know all this beer bug stuff goes away, I'm sure it'll open up way more opportunities for you. And is there? How can my followers find you? Like, how can they watch My Best Worst Adventure, and how can they follow you? Do you have an Instagram or something like that?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Lily Patra _.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my only social media that I use.
You're probably the sanest person in the world outside of the people not on social media. Makes perfect sense. But everyone, like I said in my review, you can watch My Best Worst Adventure with the whole family. I highly recommend you finding a copy or streaming it or whatever. And Lily, do you have any final thoughts before we come to a close?
Um, just thank you so much for having me on. I feel very nervous and excited.
You're very welcome. And everyone, be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and if any of my viewers or followers see My Best Worst Adventure, leave a comment and let us know what you thought about the movie. And of course, be sure to subscribe. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Facebook. I'm all over the place. So wherever you're at, like this video, share it out, and we'll see you next time right here on